Now, by most standards, this computer is way outdated. It's running on a single core. It's only got a gig and a half of RAM in it. And when I say it's running Windows 7, I mean that like term very it's on, it operates, it does simple functions. Here's the stats. Intel Celeron R CPU running at 2.60 gigahertz. As we said, running a gig and a half of RAM, 32-bit Windows 7, and that's about all there is to be had there for info. I've stripped this down completely. All of the window animations, all of the window borders themselves. This is more like Windows 98, Windows 2000 look, or Windows XP Classic look. So as to reserve any type of functional power, you know, there's no active dragging. It just takes it, you know, like the old school. Let's see. As far as like doing stuff, it doesn't. Not very well. Let's see what we got in here. All of these emulators, which should run, you know, and just about anything, have one problem or another. And we do have this hooked up to the internet too, because we're gonna need that. But yeah, there's if you run this, I'll just show you. I have a computer that has just a solid gig of RAM in it. Different type of processor, obviously, but this game should run in this computer. But again, running and being an enjoyable experience is two different things. Just to give you an idea, this should all be very swooping, and there's a lot of chop. There's frame skips. I mean, I guess this isn't too bad. But it's not as smooth as it could be. It is struggling to do these things. When you get into the heat of things in battle or whatever, it just totally, nope. So yeah, that's that. Let's see. Now, because I've stripped it all down, it seems pretty snappy at first. You know, it seems like, okay, yeah, windows are opening right up. But once you go to do something, like have a function open, like if I open up this media player, oh Lord. Now, Windows 7 is supposed to have 2 gigs of RAM. I know there's people that will tell you that you can run it on less, but not really. This is its own Windows own media center. Now, I had plans for this actually because I got a piece of hardware and stuff that goes right along with the Windows Media Center that at the time I didn't even know existed. So that's another review for another day. But it all has to do with a Windows remote that I didn't know they made. But yeah, just doing like if I want to play music, I certainly don't want to do it through this media player because it has to control the media player and it's just another piece of conduit for things to go through that it's not going to do well. Movies are just way choppy. We don't have to go through and watch point being, it's not an enjoyable experience. So by all, standards, I mean, nobody would really choose to use this computer. And by all, accounts, it's outdated. But there are operating systems on the Linux side of things that only need 512 megabytes of RAM, and we have more RAMs than that. So we are going to go that route. Now, there's a lot of other systems. I wanted to do React OS, but wow, what a friggin' pain in the ass that turned out to be. It was a whole day wasted of just back and forth trying to figure out what the hell, and it was just, the computer was just not having it. And I know React OS can be fuzzy. It's still in beta or alpha. But anybody that doesn't know about React OS, it's basically like a Windows 98 look, and it runs Windows programs. So you can get a native Windows experience without using a Windows OS. And it's legal too. So that's another thing that I haven't really looked into to see how that is. But I guess it's because it's built from the ground up. So yeah, I tried doing that to no avail. So what we are going to do is we're going to install off this SD card Linux Lite, as you can see right there. I just plugged it in so you could just see what this is Linux Lite 2.0. Now I know 4.0 has been released and all that. We will get to that via this. First we'll install Linux 2.0. We'll see how she does and how things operate, and we'll do all the updates and all that. We'll just we'll have fun installing operating systems and making old computers work again. Let's do it. So first, we gotta shut the system down. So, like what? Shut it down? Yeah, we gotta shut it down. Now, I have already gone into and I gotta say that the BIOS and the whole boots setup for this on what boots first, because we're gonna make it so, which I've already done, make it so the computer first boots from a USB drive or the USB ports and then goes to the hard drive to boot. So hopefully if it still remembers when I turn it on, it should boot from the USB that I just put in. So here goes. Ah. Alright, so we need to go in and make sure it boots from the correct Alright, see, there we go, right there. Go down to here. Yeah, it's got this funky way of moving things around. Press F10. Of course, this will always be different on any other, computer. They all have their different functions or where the boot menu is and all that. You want to save it to CMOS. And hopefully there we go. And Linux Lite. Now this is the old that's me. This is the prior Linux Lite. This is 2.0, but hopefully we should be able to get to a comfortable spot with 2.0. We should be able to. That's a good starting point, is what I'm trying to get at, hopefully. Now again, like back to the React OS thing, I did like the idea. I have other computers that I plan on doing similar things with. I did like the idea of being able to run, even if they were older versions of programs or whatever, Windows programs, on an older computer without using Windows. But at the same time, it's been a while since I've had an actual operable daily go-to Linux machine that uses Linux as a main driver in it, rather than dual booting or anything like that. So yeah, the last operating system that I had where I was using it on a daily basis, and that was even last year, was Linux Mint. And I know there's people either love it or hate it type of thing, but that's even become a little bit of a resource hog by Linux standards. It requires 2 gigs of RAM, so it's closer to a Windows 7, even though you can do way more with Linux Mint than you ever could with Windows 7 in a lot of areas. What had happened with that computer is I went to updating it. That thing, we had just played with that the other day, actually. I had it out on the desk. But I think that hard drive that went to that had Linux on it fell off a desk or something, and it broke the drive. So yeah, it sucks. That's like the 3rd hard drive that I've had that happen to. Fucking really pisses me off. But I had a 2 terabyte hard drive that fell and got destroyed. So yeah, that really sucked. So as we're doing this, Linux should be doing its thing in the background. It should be starting up here. Empty time. There we go. Now, not to get into the whole spy debate or anything, but, you know, people that kind of understand how Windows operates and understand how an operating system operates and, you know, the resources needed and stuff like that. Windows, a lot of their resources goes towards, you know, spying in one way or another, collecting data, or, you know, so a lot of your computing resources are going towards computing for somebody else. So we don't want that. Now, real quick, now this is going to be really sluggish right now because it's not installed. Right now it's just running off of a flash drive. So you get to see what it looks like. Now we can obviously change the colors and styles and all that stuff. But taking a quick gander through, for your office suites, you got all of your office stuff that you need, and you can get more. Now this is just the out of the box stuff that's just installed. There is more packages that you can install, but out of the box, now remember this is Linux Lite, so there's not going to be a whole lot of boom, here's a 1,000 of the same type of app, you know, now you get to pick, you know, it's pretty basic, and but it's got all the things that you should, you know, be able to utilize. Going even with the graphics, you got GIMP and there's another name for that. Now there's the Steam stuff. I'm not so sure how. I think it's kind of funny though. Now it's kind of ironic that now because of being able to play Windows with Linux on Steam, it's kind of funny now that people are being Windows XP users are now cut off from Steam. So if they actually took that same machine and installed Linux on it, or maybe a partition of Linux on, they could probably play their games in their Steam library that they had for their Windows XP machine. Also in here, which I think is very cool, the Humble Bundle. If you're going to buy games, I recommend going here because it's going towards a good cause. If you get signed up, you get free games, you get all sorts of goodies and stuff. And it's kind of a pay what you want type of thing, and there's a suggested price and stuff. But all of the proceeds or whatever, a great deal of the proceeds go to charity. So it's gaming for a cause. And that's a really cool thing. So anybody out there listening that doesn't know about the Humble Bundle, not only is it a cool place to get free games, but if you're gonna drop some coin on some games, it'd be cool to help people or things in need rather than just giving millionaires more money. Now for some accessories, some real quick stuff, we got a screenshot, we got your active terminal, text editor, unzip files, so like a WinZip, got your calculator, that's like the most important thing in every OS, and an application finder, which is search, and your settings, which you can screw with your appearance. There's all sorts of things that it like hooks up to right out of the box. we don't need to go on too much of a tour with it like this, because we're going to be hopefully installing it. Now, I could install updates, but why? What's this do? Oh, you can change how your, that's cool. You could change how your start menu comes out, and how big it is, and how much of the real estate it takes. You can have it take up the whole screen if you want. Or you can have it be really itty bitty. But let's just... Now, there's a lot of Linux distributions that as you go through them, you're kind of reminded of Windows 10. A lot of those distributions have been honing on that style and stuff before Windows 10. So Windows 10 takes a lot of inspiration from Linux. A lot of different things, and they even have a form of Linux for coders and stuff that can be used inside of Windows. That is crazy. So that's like Xbox making a way for you to be able to play PlayStation games on their system. It's crazy, dog. Crazy talk. Just crazy. Now, speaking of crazy, let's do it. You ready? I'm ready. You scared? Now, here we go. It's, what's it say here? Install this system permanently to your hard disk. Desktop configuration file size 7.8 kilobytes. Huh? Okay. Are we ready? Hopefully we can. Yeah. Execute, right? I know, we're already going. Wow. See, and one of the cool things about Linux is, without even being a coder or anything, you can really fine-tune your OS and make it work for you, not you learning how to work with the OS. Okay, we want to install it in English. We don't want to give ourselves more work than necessary, I guess. Okay, for the best results, please ensure that this computer is at least, yep, it's connected to the internet. Yep. You don't necessarily have to be, though. That's another cool thing about a lot of Linux distributions, is you can do a cold install without actually, but that's not really, recommended, but you can do it. Download updates while installing. Linux uses third-party software to play Flash, MP3, and other media, and to work some graphics and Wi-Fi hardware. Some of this software is proprietary. The software is subject to license terms included with its documentation. Install third-party software. Right, yep. Okay. Oh, more choices to make. Okay, so here we go. This computer currently has multiple operating systems on it. What would you like to do? Wow, it has multiple operating systems, huh? Erase disk and install Linux. Warning, this will delete all your programs, documents, photos, music, and any other files and all operating systems. The other choice is to encrypt the Linux installation for security. Use LVM with the new Linux installation. This will set up a logical volume management. It allows taking snapshots and easier partition resizing. Or something else. You create or resize partitions yourself. Or let's just do the first one. What do you say? Or is it like... Yeah, okay, so we want to do those two. And no, we don't want to do that. So install. Okay, disk encryption protects your files in case your computer requires you to do a security key each time the computer starts up. Any files outside of Linux will not be encrypted. Okay. Doopy doopy doo. Override empty disk space. Nah. Install now. Now, your obviously security keys or whatever can be. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Again with the security key. Come on. If we choose the partition, I don't understand. Is that how you do it? Oh, how to... Oh, Lord. Look at this is... Oh, Lord. Now, this is supposed to... I don't understand why it can't delete it. Now it's stuck. Uh-oh. Oh no, what do we do now? Help! Yeah. I was just kidding. Oh, come the frig on, man. So... do we gotta start this over? It's looking like it, because it ain't gonna want. So, we got a pretty sticky partition here that does not want to be reformatted. Why are we not starting? See, told you this was going to be exciting. I would really much like it if this hard drive would format. It's when it says like the whole NT 2000 XP like is that mean there's partitions of those systems? Light as a feather, huh? Well, this is getting to be some pretty riveting stuff. So can we assume that this is not going to go as smooth as planned? Hell. Light as a feather. I mean, 80 gigabyte encrypted. If it did all that, then yeah, no shit. Great. Starting to get a little worried. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I don't think this is gonna. No fancy schmancy. Whoa, here we go. What? Okay, here we go. Error. Information. Kernel about modifications. Partition. Blah, blah, blah. Device resource busy. This means Linux won't know about any changes you made until you reboot. So you shouldn't mount it or use it in any way before rebooting. Okay, thank you. Get out of my way! Damn it! Ay, ay, ay. Are you thinking? Are you thinking about stuff? Can you think a little faster, please? Whoa. Trippy, dude. There's also a two desktop, well, multiple desktops. This one just has it so you switch between the two right there. And oh my god, are we stuck again? Should we just wait? What should we do? What is going on? What is happening? Man. Are we stuck again? Now, this shouldn't be representative of how Linux installs go. They, for the most part, usually go pretty easy and pain-free. Some of them are like, you click and it seems like 2 clicks later it's installed. But this particular computer has proven itself to be quite the adversary here. Pretty stubborn. This that's probably like I want this one to click. That one right there. There's only 2 more things to do, man. Come on. Oh, man. Oh man, am I gonna have really? This isn't cool, cause like it's just gunking up the hard drive with stuff. And I mean, look, it's mid. It took it out of the equation so it could do its like magic. Maybe that's what it's doing. Maybe we shouldn't like make any sudden movements, cause maybe we need more ninjas. Get some more ninjas. Ninjas. Oh. So what do we do? Do we stare at this for a while? I mean... the hard drive's running, but it doesn't feel like it's necessarily doing anything. Oh no. Uh, um, hmm. Why am I restricted to one desktop? Hmm. Well, how about we do a Google search here? Alright, there is stuff talking about how it hangs onto this part forever, but this seems excessive. I'm not sure if I'm frozen or not. Nothing's happening here. But a Google search shows people have had issues, but this seems friggin' long though, man. I mean, how long has this been sitting here like this? Yeah, you hit it and it just... You cancel, nothing. It don't do nothing. It moves, but it won't go away. It won't let me click that. I don't know why it's... I mean, that's gonna suck if it's... If I have to start it over again. I'm just wondering what that's gonna do to the drive. I mean, whatever. No biggie. We got ninjas, so there's that. So I'm not too worried. So but yeah, I got ninjas. So there's that. You got any ideas, bro? The connection. Maybe I should click it again. I'm thinking I gotta friggin' oh. Nah, I won't smash it. I don't do that. Very little, anyway. Well, I have extra mouses because I tend to break those. But I've been real good about that, too. But yeah, I have a drawer that's got extras. I got probably 4 or 5, something like that, extras floating around. So yeah, I got 3. I got 2 hooked into one computer over here. Yeah, it's a little excessive at times. But I don't get it, man. Like, yeah. Yeah. I might not smash electronics anymore, but if you're a jar of jelly, look the fuck out. Oh, Lord. I couldn't help but laugh when you told me that story, man. That shit was funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's how that works. Now, I've had, Puppy Linux. You can run Puppy Linux right off of an SD card. It's like made to do that. It loads right onto your RAM. Um, that's gonna be the next step if I can't get this to work. Or I got Bodhi Linux, which might do it. I don't know. At this point, I don't know what that hard drive looks like. Alright, how are we gonna do this? Well, it shows that there is a volume. It's like slowly turning it into a friggin'... It's like, okay, is this Linux or... That's crazy. Look. It's all a Linux filing system on here. That's the issue right there. Try it again. Such a pretty feather. Now that's a feather in negative, I believe. It's the images. Negative image. Don't be so negative image on me, man. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, let's get some tunage rolling here. We're gonna listen to Just Insane. On Hard Rock Hell.
Hard Rock Hell Radio. Hell yeah.
Alright, here we go. Continue. Yes. There's something like... Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Great. Because, see, that's what I was worried about. because now it's like half put a freaking filing system on it. Come on. Ooh. Yes. Come on. Okay, English in the US. Boom. Did we do it? Ooh, boop-a-doo. There it is. Choose a password. Boop-a-doo. Do. I'll leave this. That's the Linux Lite. And we have to do a password. Okay. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, here we go. Isn't this exciting? By producing an easy-to-use Linux-based operating system, we hope that people will discover just how simple it can be to use Linux Lite. Linux Lite is free for everyone to use and share, and is particularly suited to those trying a Linux-based operating system. Oh, jeez. We've lightened up the desktop in this release, giving Linux Lite a lighter feel. We're also packaging our own custom software and added the Linux Lite software repository so that your installation will evolve to suit your needs. In this release, the popular whisker menu. Oh, geez. We can switch back if we want, but no, we'll just go right through. In this release, we make volume control a breeze. Well, I would hope so. You recognize? That kind of looks similar, doesn't it? Actually, that's that can be a problem in Windows 10 is volume control. And if you're ever having a problem, chances are it's malware, and you should always have malware bytes somewhere on your computer, easy to get to, or just installed right out. Whether you're blasting space aliens across the galaxy, playing Mahjong, gaming, covered Linux Lite, install Wine so it can do Wine and other such things. Firefox, Chrome, Dropbox, Thunderbird, amongst others, I'd imagine. What's this? In this release, we gave you the menu window like feel with it's a Windows like, and that's the thing is people are so Windows centric that they just think that that's how everything is supposed to run or has to run, and they don't realize that operating systems don't have to, oh, what's this? We've simplified our native install additional software feature. You now have a new all-in-one menu system with better descriptions for each piece of software. More choices. We can now add commonly requested new items to this menu so that we can offer more people more choices over time. Now, that's aside from the repository, right? I mean, I'm just wondering. Now, this won't be as resource intensive as Linux Mint. But I mean, we could still have, some issues. Now, this computer wasn't beat. It wasn't. It's still got all the keyboard and everything that matches the whole unit. I mean, I'm not sure if this one came with the whole monitor setup. I'm actually in the market for a regular CRT monitor. There we go. Almost there. Isn't this exciting? I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but this is just some riveting stuff, I think. My cousin was the one to get me into Linux and really computers in general, and really opened my eyes up a little bit more to some possibilities and stuff. yeah, I mean, there was just so much that I wasn't, thinking that computers were even, good for, or even had my head really wrapped around. Even with music and stuff like that, I was more, you know, playing physical instruments and stuff like that. And I, I'd never written music with a computer before or anything like that. So it was pretty neat to get enlightened. And and I think it provided like this sense of, I've always been a nerd with like tech and equipment and stuff like that. So this, was just kind of I was gonna fall into this direction one way or another, but it was awesome for it to be him that showed me what to. Oh wow, that is. Oh no, okay. I thought the whole thing was being. I thought the hard drive was being held in with a friggin' zip tie, but the zip tie is not even attached. So these have some weird little clamp setups, and you'd almost. I mean, you can if you wanted to, and you finagle it. You could fit another hard drive back in there. You can't use any type of it doesn't take, the regular SATA. So, not being a ninja enough. Almost there. This is getting exciting. All right. Almost finished copying files. Installing system. Yay! Woohoo! Time to celebrate. Let's get some tunes. My friend Just Insane is on the radio right now. What do you say? We give a listen.
On your feet, all you can, never miss a beat. One more time, coming straight ahead. You don't miss, I don't play there. 2 rounds, have another shot. Deep breath, give it all you got. Sorry, I'm not feeling that.
What's up with that? I gotta do something about that, huh? Huh. Alright.
Beyond Fast is the reliability of 4G LTE backup. Switch to Comcast Business and get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years. Just add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond Fast.
Offering terms and conditions restricted to apply. New business customers only. Free agreement required. Any terminations may apply. Equipment taxes and fees subject to change. Protection for backup limited up to 6 hours requires Comcast Business only. Offer price requires equal to over to the spelling and auto pay to Comcast Business model.
Sheesh.
Hard Rock Hell Radio. Hell yeah.
The cross, some nails. I can't believe that we're wrong. That's where we belong just because we choose to inhale. Why can't we all get a bone? If we're high, then we'll belong. No fighting or screaming or foolish mistreatment. I really don't think that I'm wrong. Why can't we all get a bone? Why can't we all get a bone? Get high, sing cheap green love songs. Baby laughing and joking, lots of dope smoking. Really
What happened?
don't think that I'm wrong.
I was paying attention to the other thing.
Can't we all get along? Maybe laughing and joking, lots of dope smoking. Really don't think that I'm wrong. Why can't we all get along? Why can't we all get along?
Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Oh, Lord, yes. So, are we ready? I can't have the... It's too dark to see anything. Because ninjas are the important thing. Fan's changing speeds. We should leave him in there.
75 pellets of mescaline, 5 sheets of high-powered water acid, a salt shaker half full of cocaine, a whole galaxy of multicolored uppers, downers, screamers, laughers, also a quarter tequila, quarter rum, case of beer, pint of raw ether, 2 dozen men. Not that we needed all that for the trip, but once you get locked into a serious drug collection, the tendency is to push it as far as you can.
Okay, we seem to be in a holding pattern again. So I believe this part takes a while because it's doing its thing. It's installing. Hopefully, it's installing Linux Lite. Be cool to take this thing. If you could mount it to the fan, put some little LEDs coming out of the head of it, maybe some LEDs coming out of his eyes or something. But that would be pretty snazzy.
People into experimenting with a noxious weed. The facts are otherwise. Marijuana is an intoxicating, mind-muddling drug. Its use can lead to abnormal behavior, to psychological dependence, and to abuse of other drugs. The human brain, after all, is made for thinking, not fumigating. It's hardly a tinker toy for experimenting with drugs. This has been a public service message of the American Medical Association and your local station.
Now, here comes the music.
Alright. What should we do? One cool thing that this computer has is a disk drive. For floppies, or hard disk floppies. I mean, these aren't very, these are just cheap ones for copying or whatever, but yeah, you can still get these in places, especially if you find them in thrift shops or whatever. But they will degrade over time, so it isn't like you get to keep them forever. But at the same time, they're a cool way to keep some stuff, especially if you play with DOS or whatever. Having a collection of some DOS games or whatever is never a bad thing at all. One of the things that I had thought about doing was turning this into a Windows 98 machine and going that route, but I had decided to do the Linux route because I thought it might be more beneficial. I don't know how much longer Facebook is going to let us stream. How much time we got left? Oh, we got time. We got plenty of time. Since we've only been doing this for an hour and 45 minutes, so I guess that's not too bad. But maybe I should find some here. What the fuck? For real, man? Guess I get a call. Not that assistance. Hello? 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 Hey. Hello? Hey. What you doing? I'm on stream. I got like a game playing right now, but I was streaming, or I am streaming a Linux install. Okay? Well, I got to the whole part all the way through, you know, where it's copying files, blah, blah, blah. And then it says, you know, then it went installing, and then it went to black screen. And the hard drive is running and everything, but it's been that way for like a while. I've already had to like stop through the install like 3 times, I think, and like do it, you know, because every time it would like something would screw up and I would have to stop and start over, and then it was like every time I'd get a little closer because it kept writing the filing system, you know. It was like the last time I looked before I installed it, it didn't even have like a Windows filing system to be, you know, you had to dig for it. I know sometimes, you know, they can take a little bit, but I've never seen them. This one's got some hang time. It's Linux Lite. And the 32-bit version is 2.0. I'm guessing that you have to, like, you know, download, you know, install that, and then go up the ladder once you have it in your system. That's what I figured. Other Linuxes are like that, but it'll be further along, and you'll get it, and you'll be like, well, what the hell? This is like 2 versions ago. And as soon as you install it, it takes you right to the brand new. It did that with me for Mint. It was like, it said, you know, Linux Mint Sarah, and I downloaded it, and it weren't Linux Mint Sarah, but it didn't matter, because once it all installed, that's exactly where it went to. So, it's just whatever. I think it's just an easy way to keep the files the same and they just deal with it in the installer. You know what I'm saying? But, whatever. But yeah, so, should I it's been a good 20 minutes, half hour, maybe, 20 minutes. Well, there we go. There's something. Okay. Installation has complete. Okay, well, when I was hitting friggin' enter and shit earlier, it didn't do a fucking thing, so I didn't think hitting the space bar. Oh, so now it's like doing shit. Alright. Well, cool, thank you. Hey, press this button. Oh, alright. Dude, for real, man. Okay, so now we're back in. Yay, we're back in. Oh, we're gonna. So I should take the USB drive out, right? Well, it shut off and restarted. It's like it went all the way back right through into the BIOS and everything. Ah, I just took it out. Because otherwise it's going to start from the... And it's booting. So... Alright. Oh, cool. Well, thank you very much, man. What are you guys up to today? Oh, nice. Metal Gear 5. Sweet. I know there's been some people upset about the whole Metal Gear thing. I haven't followed it enough to give a shit, but I can see why, because some of these game franchises and stuff, they're really just, it's like they do just enough or whatever to, you know, get some fan service or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a shitty game, you know. It's like, you know, but you know, like I said, I can't speak to a person. I just know, like, with some of the reviews, it's like, wow. But I haven't heard anything about this game. I didn't even know it existed, so. Oh, that's right. It's online only. Yeah, I have heard of. That's right. That's the one. We are started. We are in Linux 2.0. Going right around long into the it's going right through everything great. It goes like we hit VLC. Derp. Well, it's gonna be the first time for everything, so everything's gonna take a minute. Yeah, the first time. So, yeah, I gotta do the whole. But yeah, that's starting right up. Awesome. All right, we did it. Well, that's cool. Well, and enjoy your game, man. Friggin', if I see you online or whatever, I'll friggin' drop you a line and tell you what's up. Wait, I'm streaming this live right now, so I'll be going through the whole Linux thing for the next, I don't know, couple hours or whatever, and then shutting her down, so. But, yeah, enjoy your game, brother. Thanks for the help. Thanks for the spacebar advice. Alright, man, I love you. Alright, bye. Alright, so shut this off. Okay, let's see what we can see. We are running on a full install. Everything's gonna be sluggish for the first time. But, and as in, like, with sluggish, I mean, like, it's the first time. Let's see how she does. That loaded up pretty good. Do it again. Not too shabby. What do we got here? change wallpaper. Ooh, ask Ubuntu. Alright. Let's see if we can browser's moving right along. Alright, what do we gotta do? Your web browser is no longer supported, so oh, that's right. We are in version 2.0, so all the apps that are running are a little behind so we gotta install updates. What? Oh. And here we go. We can get rid of this for now. While it's doing that, what else we got? Okay, let's change our appearance. Ooh, a little sharper, a little darker. Left click opens up menus, applications. All right, here we go. Ooh. Some pretty stuff. Ooh, very peaceful. That's pretty cool. Ha. Let's go with this one. It's that easy, basically. Not a bunch of are you sure's or what are you doing, kitty? Huh? It's really maybe I should Alright, for games, like I said, they just hook it up to Steam, and I recommend the Humble Bundle. See, this is pretty snappy, all things considered. We are running on 1.5 gigs of RAM, so and I'm opening this up while it's doing updates. Basically, though, like a lot of the stuff that you're gonna want to play on this is gonna be, the older, less intensive type stuff, but just because you got a computer doesn't mean it's gonna be able to play a ton of games. There's other things that you can do with a computer besides play games. But the fact that the connection with Steam and everything is right there is very nice. So yeah, there's that whole side of it. Perhaps we want to do it. Maybe we want a little bit lighter. Like cars. There we go. It gives you a wow. That's pretty neat. Here's how all my friends and family are right now up north. Pretty. Alright, how we doing here? Reading database. Installed. Bunch of stuff has been updated. Installed to newer versions of things. Hopefully. I hear a lot of work going on. Y or I install the package's maintainer's version. Keep your currently installed version. Show the difference between the versions. Let's do Z. Start a shell to examine the situation. Maybe that will get us, because, well, look, we got install the package, maintain this version. That's going to mean it's going to maintain it just the way it is. Now, we don't want that, right? We wanna update it. What am I supposed to do with that? I guess it's up. Okay. Let's see here. We have. Let's do some system specs. See how we're running. Now, Linux runs on RAM, basically. That's what makes it so snappy. But what is this? Okay, we're running Linux 3.13. Do some benchmarks. Alright, let's try to figure out what this means here. Wow. Interesting. Now, do we have something to test? Okay. I got OSs just hanging around in places. Let's see. Let's pick out something that's boom. Running accelerated drivers does not support the required resolution for the pixels. Instead, accelerator thus be disabled. Performance may be degraded severely. The resolution is large. Okay. Oh God. Alright. So there's gonna be some driver issues, I take it. Okay, we are online. We need to be able to now, is this all the same stuff we already did? Updates complete. This window will now close. Okay. I want Chrome. Oh Lord. Let's do yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, there's gonna be some issues here. What do we got for webcam stuff? This is something that I was interested in here. We gonna be able to do this. Could not be installed. Why? Well, we're gonna go through that with this whole thing. Is that what this is gonna be? We need to do I like the layout. You can make it the way you want it. Anyway, whatever. I wonder if we need to. And it will get snappier and snappier.
I won the Mega Million.
Wow, that's nice.
What?
So that's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
Get. I'll try and get closer to 4.1.
I won $2.
Pork.
Yeah, my friend wrote pork on my arm. Hey, well. So I just go to Wawa and tell them I won.
And you just give them the ticket, they scan it, give you the money.
I can't believe I won.
Congratulations.
I'll just tell Grandma.
Alright, what do we got going on here now? Is it any better?
Hello. Yes, I'm much better than I was. Still have a little cough here and there, but that's right.
So the idea is to try to get to four point oh, or is 4.0
I won the Mega Million. Yeah, just $2 there. Yeah. Did you buy this one? Well, I bought the 15th, right? That was the latest date.
let's see, we want to really dig into this way.
Just that you get $2 for it. So I matched that number.
Alright, first I think we will
$2 better, but I still lost money because I spent $3 on the ticket.
then we will install additional Just letting you know. I'm not seeing how we get this is the only, and we've already done these updates. Let's see here. Let's make some changes. All sorts of keyboard shortcuts. You can edit very easily right there. Okay, focus model, what? Delay before window receives focus. New window focus. Wait, oh, that's a little too. No snapping. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we change that to that. Now we need to change. Oh yeah. Humanity dark doesn't seem too dark, man. I don't mind the no sounds. Okay. We want to be able to. Oh, okay. So those symbols are different. I don't really care for that. It's not that. It's this. Yeah, that's what that is. Now too overboard there. I want to be able to change the color of this. Alright, yeah, we don't need any of that. There's, workplaces. Graphical settings editor. Yeah, but like, what brig? fuck is this? What the hell is this? Why is there a... Because I made it. I made it. Yeah, you moron. What? I made... Whoa, come on. Gotta get used to this. Oh no, it was... Panel. I'll figure all that out. Now, I want to change the color of this. Alright, how would we do that? Okay, so can we play a friggin' movie now? Well, there you go. Smooth as silk. Very nice. Very nice. Let's very nice. No herky jerky. Very smooth. I don't want to play too much of it 'cause reasons. So, what this means is this could be turned into a media player. Bam. On Windows, it couldn't even play a movie. Very nice. Okay, what else you ask? Well, let's see. We got the updates now. What do we got for Linux games? Steam homepage. Alright. Snappy, right along. Look at that. That's insane. The internet before was like, no, that's not happening. Let's get, I don't want to do emulation or anything just yet, because I think now that's going to be kind of a no-brainer as long as I get the right emulators. Let's see if we can do this. Isn't oh no. They take forever. Why does everything gotta go through them? Oh yeah, that's right, I got another chance to say no. Whoa. Okay. That's gonna be a lot faster than I thought. I don't need any of that. What do I got? Oh, there's no downloads. Damn it. Oh, right there. And how much time we got? Oh, I totally lost track. I totally forgot about all you people. Huh. All you zero people. And there's like nobody. But at this point in time, it's So yeah, by all accounts, we've succeeded. Oh, now it's changing its mind to. So where can I? What repositories? What repos? Huh. Go. Customization. Hmm. I totally forgot it was downloading something. Making it take longer. What the hell? I think we may have saved this computer, kids. I really do. I mean, there's some additional stuff that we could put in. Like one thing I would like to see. Uh, 24. Oh, fucking why, man? Why? I gotta go straight there and install it. It won't install it via the... sudo... Oh, git. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing when I do that shit. Gonna run this biatch? Get a speaker. version is too old. Please install this. Oh, I don't think this is gonna be good. What are we gonna do? Not good. Yeah. So that's a no-go. We can uninstall that one for sure. But either way, again, let's check out. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I need to go to still plugged in, right? What's going on here? Oh. Let's do got some sound issues, but that's easily all we gotta do with this is I think download the newest version or whatever. I think that's what is still the issue. Okay. But at any rate, we have and it plays it fine in full screen too. Yeah, see, there's some. See, now in this one it has the sound. And no video. What do we got here? What the fuck? Programs not wanting to close is always fun. You should not be playing. But there you are. Okay, as you can see, there's some bugs, but that will all get worked out for sure. And the thing is there's still the ability to do things. Games are going to be limited on 1.5 gigs. And I mean, this thing does take a graphics card. It can get beefed up a little bit and be a nice little retro machine. I don't think I have more RAM that goes to this that will go in it. I'm pretty sure I don't. But it's easily obtained, and you know, we know that got the GIMP. Opens right up fairly smooth. Here we are. We could spend videos and videos screwing with this, which I know nothing about. I am not a digital artist by any stretch of the imagination. But the ability's there. And take your screenshots. Got your calculator. I don't know why that's still playing, but and I guess that's it, kids. Oh, what's this? I definitely recommend this OS as one to have on the list for. Oh, wow. Huh. As you can see, there's all sorts of cool stuff to figure out. That's another thing. There's tons of software to be had with the Linux side of things. Way more than Windows, and you can do way more. You're always restricted with Windows. Well, we got her in there. I'm glad it finally turned out okay. So with all that being said, I'll leave you with this nice winter view. And we will call it a day. I think that's, well, actually, you know what? We got freaking 20 minutes left. Let's do why? Let's do a reboot. See, do a total shutdown. I had a little song. Well, ain't that something just cute? Oh, wow, I'm glad it didn't, there's OS is on that. I'm glad it didn't, the BIOS didn't pay attention to any of the instructions I laid down for it. Now in a minute we'll do a actual boot time. I wanted to get a couple now again too, this is a leapfrog. This basically putting this Linux distro in there gave it enough oomph and enough power back again to be able to start making decisions and saying, okay, what can I do with this now that I know what it can do without the hindrance of a Windows or a Microsoft operating system? What can I do with this? Because some of these old pieces have, yeah, like I have a crossover piece that was it was a design made to cross over from 32-bit to 64-bit without an issue, and to get people into the idea of 64-bit computing. That being said, now even with just a Windows XP OS, it's a snappy little machine. I couldn't imagine putting a Linux distro in there, and a fairly decent one probably, one that can't go over a gig, but it's one of the snappiest little machines I've seen that runs off just a gig of RAM. I did a review for that a while ago. You can go check out on the YouTube. But as for your disk burning delights, I really wish I could change the color of this menu. You can set it up so it's like single click stuff to activate items. What's this one? It's very colorful. I know that snow scene might look pretty to a lot of people, but to me it's actually depressing. That's pretty cool. Ooh, that kind of thing. So, at the end of the day, I believe we have rescued this little machine. And again, if you notice, there is a spot for a graphics card. As well as, I mean, you could, again, I think 2 gigs or whatever might be what it maxes out at. It's not gonna be, but it's all on the OS and what you make it do. And some of these other OSs, like, we can even try to install that next time. That Bodhi, whatever, that's really streamlined, and you go pick up all the different different pieces of software you need from the cloud. So that's a thing. So yeah, there's a lot of different avenues you can definitely take with the Linux side of things. I'm partly a little sad that React OS didn't work. I didn't get any further than the bootloader drivers. Yeah, I wish that would have been a neat little experience. I'm sure I'll get it to work on another computer. The next computer up, I think, is gonna be a beast. It had Windows 2000 in it. It's a big machine. That thing makes the light flickers when it comes on. So it's gonna be different to work with too, because it wasn't working at all. In fact, somebody else tried to quote unquote fix it, and yeah, I think they may have made things worse. But we got it now, so we're gonna see what we can do with it. Like I said, it had Windows 2000 in it. That might be the route I take. I don't think I did anything to the OS or anything. I believe it's all still the way it was. So, yeah, whatever's on there, it'll be interesting to see. I know the only thing I did do was delete. There was some personal files and stuff of the people that had people delete your fucking files. For real. But, you know, at the same time, shit happens. So, but anyway, got the files off of it and everything, and now all it's up to is the OS and basically making it work. If I remember right, there's some issues, but it's a hell of a board on it. I know that it's a big mamma jamma of a board. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. Actually, I wanted to actually stop doing this one and do the other one, but then that would have left like this whole loose ends thing, and I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. That would have kept me up at night. So now we're left with this. And I mean, again, I feel pretty good about it. I think we did fairly well. It's not perfect yet. It's still got a little ways to go. We got some sound issues, obviously, in some areas. Some codecs things need to be updated. But these are all issues that are, I mean, Windows even deals with these things. And once you understand the simplicity of, it's not so scary, Linux works and all that. It opens you up to a whole new realm of possibilities, and like, wow, instead of throwing this machine away, I can make it do this now. I can have it be a server. I can turn it into there's so many people that, because of Linux, have taken old machines that are almost 20 years old and they're still running as media servers in their house because of, good OSs that run so lightweight that it just, just works. And that's what it's all about. So I'm not sure what happens when the clock runs out, but I think we are right down to a minute. Awesome. It has been quite a cool adventure. There we go. So everybody come check us out. Be putting a video up of this over on the YouTubes. See ya. And end stream.